tournament, though, with some of their play, and will that help their chances by playing on opening day? We'll be ready to see here in a minute. Mexico had the day off, so this is their first game. Later tonight, Italy and Croatia, and both of those teams, I think a lot of people would say coming into this Olympic qualifying tournament would have a chance to go all the way. You might have thought that Mexico would have had that outside chance of getting in the top two and maybe advancing and possibly challenging for the OQ2 win, but without Gustavo Ayun, we'll have to wait and see. But that was the situation as it speaks. Greece winning yesterday, and now Greece have the day off. And Mexico, how good will they be? Well, these are the teams that have qualified for the Olympics, and they're the Olympic qualifying tournament. The far right, you've got 3 question marks. You've got 3 Olympic qualifying tournaments here in Turin, in Belgrade, Serbia, and as well as in Manila, the Philippines. And the winners of each of those OQTs will advance to the Rio Games. So this is the first game of the day. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined once again by Lloyd Gardner. And Lloyd, we were both in agreement that for the most part, you know, we had a good feeling from Iran yesterday, but we just, watching Mexico in training the other day, you know, still perhaps getting over the shock that Gustavo Ayun, their leader, had decided kind of really at the last minute not to play, putting, you know, for personal reasons. We assume it's to spend more time with his family. Understandable, but at the same time, a huge blow for Mexico.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. You know, he is the real world-class player for them. He's also a player which they struggle to replicate or struggle to replace with this lineup here. He's the one guy of true size. The other guys on the inside, guys like Lorenzo Mata we just saw there, you know, they like to play around Ayun, not really instead of him. And the matchup today is even more difficult because of who Iran have. For Iran, it's all about Haddadi on the inside. You know, a huge presence on the low block, such an efficient scorer that for Mexico, with Ayun there, it's a simple matchup. Ayun goes with him head-to-head. Now for Mexico, you've got to ask, well, who is it that's going to be able to match up with him? It's probably going to be the 3 guys in Mata, Zamora, and Israel Gutierrez are going to try and match up. And that's a tough ask for all of them. They're all giving up, you know, at least 12 centimeters. You know, all of them giving up a lot of size to someone who we saw yesterday going against Greece. His ability on that low post.
Yeah, we were really impressed with how they got the ball inside to their big fella, Haddadi. And Iran are young, but I think they've got enough to beat this Mexico team. We'll see how it pans out. Now the national anthems for both Mexico and Iran. Okay, Mexico, welcome to the party. Now it's time for the Iranian national anthem. So really interesting game ahead of us, folks. I can't stress that enough. And, we've seen Mexico scale the heights in the Americas in 2013, winning. And we've seen Iran obviously winning 3 the last 5 FIBA Asia Championships. They finished 3rd at the last one last year. Referees tonight from Slovenia, Lithuania, Kazakhstan. Matej Bolthauser, Jurgis, Laurinavicius. You'll recognize those faces. Dirk Bowerman, the coach. And also Yevgeny Mikheyev from Kazakhstan, the other referee. Hard to keep up with them over there, isn't it? They're out there doing their running. Now the roster for Mexico, if you're from the Americas, you probably know most of these guys. You were impressed at the World Cup 2 years ago because you covered them in Gran Canaria by Paco.
Yeah, Paco Cruz, he's not starting today, but I like the guard trio they have. Jorge Gutierrez, played in the NBA for the last few years, is a very good point guard. Paul Stoll often comes off the bench for Mexico.
Yeah,
He's kind of like an impact player, and it's usually Paco Cruz that gets a start. But that kind of trio is very, very good. And then their leading scorer from Centro Basket is Hector Hernandez. This is a team that just played in the Centro Basket just a short period of time ago. Hernandez was the leading scorer and rebounder for them in that tournament. So he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on.
So maybe the change in the backcourt because they watched how Iran play, and maybe he feels like his guys are going to match up better against Mohamed Jamshidi, number 13, and Behnam Yakhchali, number 8, who, there were far more positives for me from their play yesterday than negatives. I mean, Behnam Yakhchali, I think at one point was about 4 of 6 from three-point range. He finished 4 of 8. Ocean Sahakian, Kazemi does a little bit of everything, the hustle, the hard man. And Hamed Haddadi obviously needs no introduction. So,
yeah, I mean, we mentioned Haddadi. He's a tremendous threat. He gives up a little bit. He's a bit of a one-way player. Offensively very good. Defensively has his limitations, and that might be something that Mexico will look to exploit. But this is going to be a key matchup for me. You said about Yakhchali and the impressive game he had yesterday. 12 points. We had question marks over the three-point shooting from Iran and the guard play. He's still very young indeed, Yakhchali, but he had a very good game yesterday. He's just 20 years of age, and him alongside Jamshidi as well, they really did give a creative element to the Iranian offense that we weren't expecting. The question mark for them was the turnovers, because they really did struggle against the athleticism of Greece. They had 27 turnovers as a team. That led to 33 points from turnovers for Greece, and that was the difference in the game. It was a competitive game, a lot more competitive than the score showed for long stretches, but Greece just turned those turnovers into easy baskets, and that was the difference.
Well, Sergio Valiomilios, I was telling you, I really feel for him because all of his idea about building up for this OQT for the past year just kind of went up in smoke when Ayon announced he wasn't playing. So he's really got to be able to make some adjustments on the fly. It's almost like having an injury. And you've got Dirk Bowerman, who's been there, done it for so many years. But everything that has happened with Mexico that's been good, really, the past several years, a lot of that credit has to go to Valiomilios coming over from Spain and getting to know his personnel and getting the maximum out of these players. And I know that they're devoted to him. So,
I mean, but at the same time, they had the Centro Basket tournament, which Ayon didn't play in.
Exactly.
And so they played without him for this period in preparation. Of course, they wanted him to be here. Of course, he's a loss. But in many ways, that Centro Basket tournament has been a blessing in disguise because they've had to play big minutes without him on the inside. They've had to play against, inside players of good quality with this smaller lineup.
Well, Lorenzo Mata hasn't been able to play the last couple of years because of injury, number 14 there, but he's back now. You might know him in America, UCLA days. Hector Hernandez as well with Fresno State. So you've got a lot of United States connections in this Mexican team of people who've either played college basketball there. Well, good evening, everyone. We're in Turin, Italy, the northern part of the country. It's day 2 of the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And We're starting off with Iran and Mexico. Mexico in the red, they've got the ball. And they want to get off to a good start here against Iran. They get it inside to Hernandez. And Haddadi gets the first rebound.
As I said, Hernandez has been the go-to guy without Ion there offensively. Gutierrez is effective as well, but Hernandez is a spark plug. Inside-outside type player.
Yakshali whips it over to Oshin Sahakian, but Haddadi wasn't ready. And Mata now gets fouled. And I'll tell you, that's a good sign to see Mata get out on the fast break, because on Sunday, when we watched him train, he was limping around, looking like he wasn't going to be able to go.
Yeah, it's also a worrying sign for Iran. First offensive possession, turnover straight away.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there with Sahakian and Haddadi.
Sahakian didn't have a great game yesterday. I wonder, this Mexico team suits him better, a bit smaller. Him to go to the inside as well.
Gutierrez now over to Stoll. Both of these teams played at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2 years ago. Gutierrez got an open look. Now 2 open looks really for Mexico, and they've missed both. Kazemi with the rebound.
You see Iran use this high ball screen a lot. This is Jamshidi. Him and Yakshali, who have the ball now, they're the creative players.
Here's Haddadi now. He backs up Mata. And just a little bit of a drop step, and goes up for the top.
And there's the finisher. So Haddadi, a strong move, and that's the question mark. Mexico, how are you going to stop that? What are you going to do to keep it out of his hands?
Gutierrez now gets in, a little bit out of control. And Kazemi now, he loses it, and he's gone down injured. And Stoll hits the three-pointer, and they're going to have to stop play for Kazemi. So what happened there?
He slipped on a bit of a wet spot, I think.
That's not good. Doesn't look good. Hopefully it's not bad. Watch this. Well, it definitely has to do with his knee, but it didn't look severe. But obviously, I'll tell that to him. And it's great footwork from Haddadi, who's I think he's really improved in that respect. Well, hopefully Kazemi is okay. It doesn't look good though, Lloyd.
No, not at all. You see, yesterday they had another injury. Oh man, Zanganeh went down as well. And he's been warming up like he's okay, but he was the rotation on the inside as well. So he would be the natural replacement almost if Kazemi couldn't continue to play.
This is a terrible blow for Iran if they lose him for an extended period, because like we said, from a chemistry standpoint, from a hustle standpoint, he's the guy diving for the loose balls, going in, crashing the boards.
They've gone really small now, Mexico. So they've got Mashiyaki's come in. He's essentially a
Iran, yeah,
he's essentially a point guard.
Jamshidi's got it, and his pass right into the hands of Stoll. He read it perfectly. Stoll gets inside. Beautiful pass from Stoll, and Toscano lays it up. And just all of a sudden, some excellent play, but off the turnovers from Iran.
Mexico is such an emotional team. They love things like if they can get out in transition, if they can fire up threes.
Look at the pass from Stoll.
They get going. It's plays like this that energize them. That's where, we saw Tunisia yesterday really control tempo. Iran have got to do that. These cheap turnovers, they can't have them. And 3 turnovers already, and then taking 1 shot. That was the dunk.
Well, Stoll with the three-pointer, now the steal, fast break, and assists on that three-point play.
Get it over.
And I don't know that they did. Valdiomilas was asking for it. They turned it over anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they went up and said something to them. The dead ball. Here's Stoll again. And back to Hernandez. He's known for his stroke. Oh! Toscano with the alley-oop. With the rebound and dunk.
How did he fetch that? Unbelievable. He ghosted along the baseline. No one boxed him out, but what a fetch. He was down by his knees. Incredible putback.
Inspired decision to start Toscano today. And now Haddadi gets surrounded, and Stoll once again off to the races for Mexico. And he's going to hold it up. Well, this is turning into a dream start for Mexico. And Toscano drives in, puts it up and in. And Dirk Bowerman is going to get a timeout. And really, for a team that would have been questioning themselves coming into this game, Mexico have come out and built some confidence here in the first 3 minutes of the game. They lead it 10-2. Well, Lloyd, Mexico maybe catching a break here. Look at that, 8 points from the turnovers. I mean, if you're Iran, you're your own worst enemy with the turnovers, but also you've got the injury now with Kazemi, and we don't know what that situation is. Is he coming back? And Bowerman, he's got to make some changes. He's making some changes on the fly.
What we saw yesterday was Dirk Bowerman be over the top positive with his team, you know, trying to get him up. But I think we didn't get a look into that last time out. I think now's not the time for being positive. He needs to get all over his team right here and kind of spark them into life. They just don't look like they're ready to play. They've lost all their confidence offensively, and Mexico are not the team you want to play if you're not confident, because they sort of thrive on things like that. They thrive on open games, they thrive on up-tempo play. So they will turn the screws if you give them the opportunity.
It's interesting also, you've got Chali with 2 fouls. Here's Cardos gets inside and is blocked by Maddow. And Jorge Hernandez fouled as he brings the ball up the floor by Masayeki.
This is a young Iranian team. They need to pull together. They just need to take their time. Make sure they don't turn it over. They don't have to force anything offensively. They can get good shots with a bit of patience.
Okay, now they've taken away one of the fouls that they have on the score sheet for Chali, so he's got 1 foul. So that's better news for them, because they'll need him on the floor. Hernandez back over to Gutierrez. Puts it up. And good box out by Cardos.
I see Cardos yesterday. I've seen him before. I like him. He's got a big presence. They finish a bit on the inside as well.
He came in a little bit at the end of the game, didn't he?
Yeah. Mexico doing a good job slowing Jamshidi down, though.
Jamshidi fumbles it away. And Masayeki is going to explode inside. Puts it up. And the ball hit over the backboard by Cardos. And we didn't see Iran struggling to function at all, really offensively, in the first quarter yesterday. But today it's a completely different story.
And credit to Mexico. We said Mexico have come just off that Centro Basket campaign, and what that's allowed them to do is, you know, they've had an extensive prep because of that. Not just warm-up games, but competitive games for them. It was a 1-point game they lost in the final against Puerto Rico, so they're pretty kind of well into their season. So
Paul Stoll back over to Hector Hernandez. And that's a three-pointer.
Hernandez open. If he gets going, he is very, very dangerous. I mean, there's no one near him. Absolutely wide open.
Chali. Iran needs somebody to step up here. Jamshidi. And he is fouled by Toscano. But I like the start of Toscano. I mean, we talked about him before the tournament. And see Hernandez's three-pointer. He's definitely got the athleticism. He's long. All he's done is come out and score with a putback dunk. Played some D.
He played, obviously, none of these Mexicans played college basketball. Played at Marquette in the US, good level. Relatively decent numbers there. What we haven't seen from him, 35% three-point shooter at college as well. But for Iran, they've got to make sure the energy is there on the defensive end. At the moment, it's almost like the frustrations offensively.
Gutierrez gets in the lane.
Look at that. Gutierrez is just wide open. Just gets to the basket. Yeah. Iran Iran aren't playing any defense, and it comes, Coach Bauman said this yesterday, they can't let their defensive energy be dictated by the offensive end, and that's what's happening here. Turnovers and poor shot selection has taken the heart away from the Iranian team.
Well, Mata guarding Kardust, nowhere to go. Almost a turnover. Sahakian now has it, gets inside, puts up the runner, misses, and Mata with the rebound. Now Stoll has it mid-court. Stoll for three.
Mexico will let you back in though. They're a little bit wild at times, and it means that they'll spurt. They'll spurt really well, but at the same time they'll give you an opportunity to get a run because they might not take the best shots. That's the way they play.
And now the turnover. Toscano, get ready, folks. He's going up. Oh, he missed the dunk. And for some reason, he didn't get the elevation. That'll be interesting to watch if it has an impact on the game, because that's a 4-point swing.
Is that going to be the spark for Iran? They get a score. Now they've got to build on it on this end. They've got to try and get some mini runs, a couple of stops at a time. Sort of sandwich it with a basket if they can.
And now an offensive foul, Mata. Well, as Mexico make the subs and Iran as well. Here's foul Mata that we see. You think, obviously, Valdemios is probably rather hot under the collar than this dunk, but that's the kind of player he is. You can't really take that out of his game. He just didn't get his elevation. I don't know what happened.
And that's the way Mexico play. Like I say, they're going to take some wild shots, but you let them. Because that's the way they can have success. Other teams can't play the way they do. Iran need a couple of baskets. Stop turning it over.
And now another turnover from Gutierrez led Stoll just a little bit too much.
And if you're Mexico, if you coach on that side, you will not be happy because you can finish this game in the first quarter. This game could be over by this first 10 minutes the way Iran are playing. But, that's at least 4 wide open points. Less on the table. Here's more now. Mexico got to finish with numbers.
And the foul before the Gutierrez was able to get the shot off. I mean, I know that Valdemios isn't laughing right now, but I did look down at the bench of Mexico, a couple of players, and you could see almost a wry smile, like, if we win this game, we're going to let him have it. Toscano after that missed dunk. You're right. You get on top of the team, you need to put him away early. Gutierrez at the line. That's good.
Gutierrez isn't a great shooter, so I understand giving him a little room, but he's wide open on the foul line. This is a guy who plays in the NBA. He's not going to miss those shots. Mexico just doing whatever they want on their offensive end. Far too easy for them.
What a luxury to have Paco Cruz coming in now at this stage. So he'll be checking in the next dead ball. Jamshidi puts up a three, and that's good.
He's the only guy, isn't he, that's come at all. Jamshidi has 5. The team's only got 7.
Gutierrez catches it. Mashiaki is on him, almost calls the turnover. Gutierrez passes outside to Toscano. Now Gutierrez for 3. Hassanzadeh with the rebound.
So back to Jamshidi, see if they can get him in a high pick and roll maybe.
Hassanzadeh drives in, scores with the left hand.
No sort of concerns after that injury for him yesterday. Seems to be moving well. It's a good find from Yakchali, and this is what we're talking. Excuse me, not Mashiaki. It was in the past, and this is it. For as well as they played and as badly as Iran have played, it's an 8-point game now. Iran have got themselves back into it. Haddadi's come back in as well.
Oh, nice shifty move by Stoll. Toscano travels. And Gutierrez, is he coming out of the game? Yes, he is. And Hassanzadeh, meanwhile, seems to be making a good impact coming in for Iran. Cardos takes a seat. And right now, it's touch and go, really, isn't it? I mean, your point's well taken. get your foot on the neck of the opponent, you need to go ahead and squash it. And Mexico haven't done that.
Yeah, especially at this level. If you give teams an opportunity, then you are living dangerously. And Iran have played so badly in this first period that Mexico should have really finished it as a contest.
And they've had Haddadi on the bench.
Yeah.
And Yakchali for three. Well, we talked about it before the game. And now he's cut it to a 5-point deficit.
Yakchali proved he can shoot yesterday. Makes his first one. He just hasn't been involved in the offense at all, apart from turning it over.
Stall, no look. Over to Hector Hernandez for three. That's short.
Be smart. Don't rush if you're Iran. The old head of Haddadi. Now you've got to make sure he gets a touch, though. Go back to him somehow.
Oh, Stoll reaches in and almost forced the turnover.
Haddadi's out here telling everybody, just calm down, take your time.
This is Yakchali's three-pointer, and we saw him nail 4 yesterday against Greece, so he can clearly shoot it. And we saw Haddadi hit a 3 yesterday at the end of the shot clock. Here's Yakchali again, and hands it off, and unbelievable. Hassanzadeh, another layup, and it's only a 3-point lead for Mexico. Toscano puts it up and misses. So a little bit of frustration, certainly disappointment for Mexico, and kind of like the hopes of Iran resurrected there ever since the missed dunk from Toscano.
Yeah, I mean, again, we gave him a lot of credit yesterday to Coach Baumann. For me, played that first quarter really well. He took out Haddadi. He knew his team didn't have the energy defensively. So Haddadi came out, even though he's their best offensive player, to try and get them to play better defense. They went with 5 good defenders. They started to get some stops. They slowed Mexico down. And then he introduces the offensive players again when they've got control of Mexico. I said this Mexican team for me it's really hot and cold. At times they're as good as anybody in the world because they can run, they can gun, they're explosive, they've got great players. But then at other times, the way they play, they give you an opportunity to get back into the game. You think they were up, what was it, 15 points? They had the dunk they miss, then the next possession, a 3-on-1 break. Gutierrez just throws the ball out of bounds. I mean, another 4 points there, that would have just taken the heart away from Iran. Really had an opportunity to just seal this game, but instead they left that glimmer of hope for Iran. Iran have put themselves back into it. And even though they've got 7 turnovers, Iran only 3 points from it for Mexico.
So the biggest lead, they got up, 13 points, and the missed dunk from Toscano, let's see, it was 17-4. So actually he missed it. He missed it when it was
15-2.
Right, 15-2. So they're up 15-2.
And then a 12-2 run for...
With 3:51 remaining.
12-2 run for Iran to finish the quarter. No, that's the difference. We said, you know, plays like that. We talked about it yesterday for Iran, actually, wasn't it? It was Kazemi got the incredible dunk over Barousis. He said it's plays like that, they only work 2 points, but it just gives such a lifeline. It just gives a shot of injection of energy to your team sometimes. And in the same way, it was almost like a balloon. Mexico had just let a little bit of air come out when they missed a dunk, and Iran came to life again.
Well, this is the early game. Got another one coming up later, Italy, Croatia. So the Italian fans getting off work right about now. They'll continue to file into the stadium. They've snapped up all the tickets. Here we go, and Haddadi just goes right around Lorenzo Mata. And it's a 1-point game.
Naive defense in Mexico there. I don't think you can leave Haddadi one-on-one in the low post like that. Mexico just haven't got a chance of guarding him.
Orlando Mendez. Hector Hernandez spins. Nice pass, but Mata didn't score.
Just go back to Haddadi if you're there. Run that same play once more.
Oh, may have moved his pivot foot there. Threw it out of bounds. Here it is again. Watch just easily turns to his right. Paco Cruz. Somebody really needs to pick it up for Mexico. You feel it. I mean, all the momentum is with Iran. Having trailed by 13 points. What a turnaround. Paco Cruz with a jump shot. Hassanzadeh with the rebound. Mashieki.
Trouble.
And lazy pass. Good quick hands from Mexico. The defense. Beautiful bounce pass. They're sharing the ball well, Mexico, but now they're having some problems with turnovers.
More sequence from both teams. They just need to settle Iran. If you've got Haddadi in the low post, he's a really good passer, so that's why players try to cut off him, but they've got to understand as well that Mexico have done nothing to double team him. If you're going to cut and he doesn't give it to you, get out of his way, allow him that room to go one-on-one.
Well, Iran with another chance to take the lead. Trailed by 13 points. Going to be a lot of twists and turns in this game. You hate to see Arslan Kazemi go out. Maybe he'll come back. He had an injury. Here's Haddadi for three. Offensive rebound, Hassanzadeh. Back to Haddadi, and then Hassanzadeh goes up. And Iran have come all the way back and moved in front.
Incredible. And I know Haddadi isn't the quickest, but the pass, for him to take it on the run and not pick up a charge yet, very good play indeed. I'm wondering where the points are going to come from Mexico.
Oh, nice pass, Mendez rather, now back outside to Cruz. Paco Cruz with a little runner.
That's the first basket for Mexico in 4.5 minutes of action. In the previous one, there was over 2 minutes left in the, 2.5 minutes left in that first period. That's why I like Paco Cruz. He's so skilled for me. Shoots it, handles, breaks the guy down. And again, just spread the floor. Let him go one-on-one if you're Iran.
Now inside, better defense that time. Gutierrez.
Got a chance to run Mexico. He's looking towards the official.
Mendez puts up a three. And Mata goes up for the offensive rebound and putback. And he has a chance for a three-point play. That's called manufacturing something out of nothing.
Haddadi was looking at the official. He was late to get back. Everybody else is trying to help him out. And that's why they were out of position. Mata and just did a great job with the energy on the glass.
Adrian Zamora is going to come in for Hector Hernandez. So with the three-point play, the made free throw by Mata, it's now Mexico back up by 4. And another turnover. Sahakian couldn't quite control it. And that's what got Iran into trouble in the first place. Mendez over to Paco Cruz, wide open, go! And all of a sudden, Mexico stormed back into front into a 7-point lead. And again, off the turnover.
I mean, they just spurt, don't they? Mexico never out of a game and never in control of a game sometimes.
Great low post move, Haddadi, and draws the foul from Zamora. Nice spot by Mendez.
Mexico for me, there's never a non-game with Mexico. They could be down 40 and you still give them a chance of coming back. They could be up big, you still give them the other team a chance because you feel like Mexico can just go on a drought sometimes, just stop playing on the defensive end to let somebody else back in.
Haddadi takes his free throws. And he makes one of two. Kazemi is running behind the bench, so it looks like he might be able to come back in for Iran. I don't think they'll risk him if they think it's anything serious, obviously. Mendez, bounce pass. Oh, beautiful play, attacking the basket. And another foul earns Mexico a trip to the free throw line.
Great execution on that particular play.
Adrian Zamora.
So Mendez on the pass.
He's doing a good job, the veteran guard. Creating some opportunities.
That was good, came off the screen, was a threat to score. So defense put their eyes on him, thought he was going to take it, had the ability to make the bounce pass to Zamora.
And free throw is good. So both free throws take it up to 27-19. And Mata again comes out. Israel Gutierrez comes in. Iran were up 19-18. So it's an 8-0 run for Mexico.
It's been a game of runs, hasn't it?
Oh, another turnover. And Paco Cruz fouled by Jamshidi.
12 turnovers against Iran. After yesterday, where they had 27, I would have thought or hoped they would look after a bit better today, but still, that's the problem for them.
Gutierrez to Mendez, left wide open. And Zamora knocks it over to Haddadi, who gets it to Jamshidi. And Jamshidi travels. So the turnovers mounting for Iran. They now have 12 turnovers. And points off turnovers, 13 for Mexico. Very simple, isn't it? If you're Iran, you take better care of the ball, and some of their mistakes are just a little bit careless with the pass.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico is shooting 43% from the field, and Iran shooting 53. Iran's out rebounding Mexico. They're winning all the areas you would kind of expect them to or look towards, but the trouble is they've only taken 15 shots in the game, and Mexico taken 23. There you see it. So Mexico taking so many more shots because they've got opportunities through not turning the ball over. And we said it yesterday, it's not rocket science for the Iranian offense. Don't turn it over. The more shots you get, the more like points you'll score. For Mexico, it's just the consistency of what they're doing. They can't be as high and as low as they do sometimes. Just a little bit out of control, but they seem to have got the balance last few minutes pretty well. The tempo is good for them, running when they get the opportunity, but then sort of complementing that by slowing down and not getting out of control.
Sergio Valdeamillos has seen his team open up a 13-point lead, then he's seen his team kind of almost implode and allow Iran to come back. Now he's seen his team go back up in front by 8 and a chance to extend the lead even further. Cruz on the baseline, and Israel Gutierrez didn't quite time his jump right. Jamshidi trying to get it to Haddadi. He does, and Haddadi couldn't finish. But the ball knocked back outside for Iran to get another opportunity. It's a tough assignment for Gutierrez. There's somebody come and help. And they find Sahakian, and he was fouled.
He's got to finish that. If Mexico do double the low post like they did against Haddadi, Sahakian did everything right. You'll see him cut right down the middle because his man was focused on the ball, and he has to punish them for the doubling. Otherwise they'll just continue to do it and take Haddadi out of the game by putting 2 people on it.
So Sahakian goes to the line, gets a couple back. Paco Cruz calls the play. It's a 2-3 zone for Iran. Mendez puts up a 3, and the tip by Zamora.
You would say the danger of the zone from Iran is the offensive firepower from beyond the three-point line of Mexico. They got the miss, and then they went and left an open guy for a rebound. Big breakdown.
So back to an 8-point lead. Now Sahakian for 3. And then Zamora. I think that's going to be Mexico ball. Oh, boy, he took a blow, didn't he? and then Iran were arguing that the ball went off of him. Well, they're going to have to beat some full court pressure here. And almost a turnover. Gutierrez playing more of an off-guard role now with Mendez in the game. Now he's got it back, perhaps. Inside to Gutierrez, and he goes up against Haddadi. Haddadi bats it out to Paco Cruz, and Haddadi blocks it again. Now a little chance to run here for Iran. Jamshidi misses. And Sahakian, it looked like he might have knocked it out of bounds, but it goes, it's going to remain with Iran with 3:52 to go. Watch again. If you're Paco Cruz, do you really want to do that? You pass up the jumper to challenge Haddadi.
Yeah, I like the zone for Iran. It's dangerous against Mexico, but it just means Haddadi doesn't have to guard anyone. It just stands in the middle.
There's Haddadi going inside, and he is going to be fouled by Israel Gutierrez.
He's so unselfish, Haddadi, but sometimes he needs to, with this Iranian team, especially when they're struggling for points, he needs to just kind of let the cut happen, let them clear again, and then play one-on-one. Just take it on himself a little bit more than he has done in this second period, really. But to go back, I like the Iranian zone because Haddadi doesn't have to worry about ball screen defense, anything like that. He can just anchor in the middle, block shots, try and rebound, let everybody else really guard the perimeter.
Haddadi misses the first. Well, I'll tell you, for a native Californian, Mata, he's fanning himself down over there. It's like, he's really hot. You would think he would be used to this warm weather, but it's
not that hot either. Somebody
needs to get over there and put a fan on him. He looks like he's boiling. Anyway, Mendez. And a needless turnover through the hands of Zamora.
It's not the best Mexican lineup against the zone either. I'm surprised Marco Ramos hasn't come in. He's a guy, I think back to World Cup 2014, he would go crazy in games. I remember one game, he had about 4 threes. He's a real zone buster. They haven't gone to him yet. This is, again, Haddadi needs to take over.
Well, I'm sure they're happy if he's that far away from the basket. He's going to put it up, and it's going to be Zamora with the rebound. Now Gutierrez. And gets it back, and Gutierrez from Gutierrez.
Good play from him, strong drive. If you're trying to beat the zone, if you're struggling in the half court, the way to beat it is get out in transition. So he did the right thing, gave it up early, continued his cut.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Gutierrez has improved the last couple of years since you watched him in Gran Canaria when he was playing at the World Cup?
Gutierrez is, this role for Mexico is slightly different for him. He perhaps has to take a little bit more responsibility than he usually does in the NBA. Where, in that situation, he's a great defender. He's creative. He's not really a big scorer. So Mexico want him to kind of carry the load a bit more offensively, which I don't think is, perhaps the strongest thing for him in his game.
Oh, good help from Mendez, but another foul called with Mexico guarding Haddadi, so Haddadi will go back to the line, and now Mata has cooled off sufficiently to come back into the game, along with Hernandez and Paul Stoll. So Israel Gutierrez, Adrian Zamora, and Jorge Gutierrez are going to come out of the game.
This is a different Mexican lineup against the zone. And they've got 4 big-time shooters around Mata, who's very active on the offensive glass. So interesting to see if Iran try and stay in it, or if they're worried about these shooters from Mexico now on the floor.
So Dottie now comes out, and Cardus comes back in. Wonder why the coach likes that matchup.
Defense.
Primarily defense.
Yeah.
And also, Adadi has no fouls, so it's not like he's trying to protect him in that sense. So 2-3 zone still for Iran, and Mendez finally busts the zone.
It's a very good zone offensive unit for Mexico. A lot of shooters on the floor.
9-point advantage. Chali, Cardus, and blocked from behind by Mata, but the foul called by the Slovenian, no, excuse me, the Lithuanian referee, Jurgis Laurinavicius. We're going to see Garibay come in as well. Now, for Iran, we're going to see Adnan Daraki. You just got to look at him. There he is talking to the assistant coach, Mehran Shahintab, rather. And Cardus, I'll tell you, if Cardus does anything, he is as strong as a bull, isn't he? I mean, he is big. Takes up some space. I wonder what his potential for improvement is. He's already 30 years of age. And this is that one as well. Paul Stoll going to come into the game. Inbounds. He's got it now. Paul Stoll. In the lane, over to Hernandez. Cruz now, bounce pass, and Cruz got it off just in time, got the rim, and Hernandez, or Garibay, kept it alive, but still a 9-point lead for Mexico. Iran would like to eat into this deficit before halftime. Jamshidi over to Cardus, and foul before the shot. Unfortunate for Iran.
They had the little spurt before the end of the first quarter, didn't they? They can have the same impact here at the end of the second. They'll be delighted. It's not been their best performance in the first half. Mexico pretty much controlling the game, apart from that one run that they have given up.
So Zamora's going to come back in for Garibay. Vital game, really. I mean, the bottom line is Mexico know that if they win this, they are in the semifinals, which, under the circumstances, as the Iran fans look on, would be terrific for them. Overcoming the university with the loss of Gustavo Ayllón not playing. Of course, he was the first person to say he felt like they could win without him. He's not going to say anything else, is he? So he misses the free throws, both free throws. Mendez, it's on line, it's good! And another three. So, almost a dagger. Puts it up to 12 points here, late in the first half. And Paco Cruz reaches in and commits the foul. Now, Toscano is going to check back into the game.
Off threes, Mexico, 25 a game on average in the centro basket. We've got up 13 in this first half here, as Mendez has made 2 of 5. And they're 5 of 13 as a team.
vital free throws for Iran, really. I mean, Jamshidi at the line. So you got to start making some inroads into this deficit. Back to 10 points now. Stoll has the ball. Back outside, Hector Hernandez. And you saw Mendez look at Bowerman and say, hey, you're in my way. And then Mendez puts it up. Offensive rebound. Now Paul Stoll, never seen that before. Paul Stoll puts up a three. And again, Mendez with the rebound, puts it up quickly, but he wasn't able to get the shot up comfortably with Haddadi there. Maybe rushed it.
I was looking at Bauman, and he was absolutely screaming at his team. I'm pretty sure he was telling them to rebound, because if you're going to get Mexico to miss a couple of threes, you can't let them have 3 or 4 chances at shooting it, because they will make one. They have to rebound out of this zone.
But Lloyd, what happened was Bowerman was out there shouting at his team defensively. Mendez had the ball in the corner, and when he turned, he was literally right beside Bowerman, and he shouted at him to get out of the way. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. Did you see in the NBA?
Oh, with Huertas.
No, in the NBA, one of the coaches, I forget who.
Those shooting numbers, by the way, 5 threes for Mexico, just 2 for Iran.
The Vine clip, you'll probably find it on the internet if you look hard enough. The coach on the sideline in the defensive stance, moving up and down, screaming at players when they're taking a shot. Yeah, check it out, you'll be able to find it. And there's the problem, it's 7.5 minutes without a field goal. They have got to the foul line a couple of times, but 26 points only for Iran. It's like we talked about. Here's Bauman getting shouting his team. They've done a better job lately, but still 12 turnovers first half.
I suppose when it comes to Iran, you just have to say it's growing pains, don't you? They come out, they played yesterday, maybe not quite that sharp, and that's one of the frustrations that you have if you're Bowerman. You got to try to fight through it. You know, it's tough coming back the next day, maybe.
Inconsistency of youth, isn't it? Players like the man with the ball. Yeah, Charlie's played so well yesterday, just taking the 1-3 that he made here.
Interesting pressure here, making things a little uncomfortable for Mexico. So on Masayeki. Now Jamshidi left open, and Mexico got away with one there because he can knock that shot in. So a new 14. Jamshidi, another 3. And they save the ball inbounds to Hernandez. Will they hold it for 1? And Stoll, it will hold it for 1. So all in all, especially after blowing their huge lead, you'd have to say that Mexico right now are pretty happy, and they're going to be even happier if they get and add to the lead. And they are going to shoot it. They get it off in time, but he misses everything. Hector Hernandez pretty quiet, but so far Mexico haven't needed him. They lead it 36-26 at halftime against Iran. Well, Lloyd, I mean, from a free throw standpoint, Iran have really hurt their calls. So that's something to bear in mind. Shooting just 57%, 8 of 14. And, you know, as you look at the leading scorers, you'd have to say really that Mexico, but we saw how they could kind of fall apart.
I would say right now both teams are diced with death. You know, Mexico have controlled this game through the first 20 minutes, but they haven't put Iran away yet, and they may well give them a glimmer to get back into the game. For Iran, you know, as badly as they've played, they should be out of it now. But they're still there, they're still alive, they've still got a slight hope for the second half, but they're going to have to really improve and look after the ball much better than they have in that first 20 minutes.
Well, if Mexico win it, they know they're going to the semifinals along with Greece. If Iran win it, it'll go to an important day tomorrow with Mexico taking on Greece. We're at halftime. We'll be right back. Dirk Baumann and Iran trail 36-26 at halftime here against Mexico. I'd suggest that it's been somewhat of a flat performance by them today. Maybe not that surprising considering they played yesterday against Greece, but also they lost Arslan Kazemi to an injury in the first quarter, and really he's a guy that does bring a lot of energy to the team. Maybe that has something to do with it. The good news for Sergio Valdiomillos' team is that they looked shell-shocked after blowing a 13-point lead in the first quarter. Iran coming back to take the lead early in the second, but then Mexico kind of rediscovered their rhythm, capitalized on some more turnovers by Iran, and ended up taking a 10-point lead to halftime. So I think still a lot of work to be done, and Valdiomillos is the first to acknowledge that this thing has a long way to go.
Absolutely, Jeff. I said in the first half, Mexico, as good as they are, they do have the ability to let teams back into the game, though. So Iran will give themselves a chance in the second half. A positive sign for them is Kazemi's out on the floor to start the second half. Surprisingly, they're not going with Haddadi in their first five, but there is still an opportunity for Iran to get back into this game. But for Mexico, there's a lot more to come from them. You know, they haven't played at their best anywhere near, so I still think they can play a lot better than they did in that first 20 minutes as well.
Well, welcome back to Turin. If you've been away for a small break, second half action underway with Mexico and Iran. If Mexico win, they know they're going to the semifinals of the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament, and Jorge Gutierrez gets in there and scores. That's a positive sign for Mexico.
Strong drive, wasn't it, from Gutierrez, straight down the middle. That's what he can do, even though he doesn't have that great, shooting range. If he gets into the lane, very, very efficient in and around the basket.
Jamshidi, and just not working for him right now. He has hit one. He stole back outside. Hector Hernandez, who's been quiet offensively. Inside, and Toscano kept it alive, but Sahakian comes down with us. It's 5 minutes of the first half. They say it's second half rather. First 5 minutes is always crucial, especially for that team facing that double-digit deficit. And Yakshali hits a three-pointer, so that is a little bit of hope for Iran.
Yeah, they've got to try and get him going. He can be a scorer for them. He can add points, which is what they need right now.
And Gutierrez gets inside and has a chance for a three-point play. And maybe that's one of the benefits to going up against those NBA guards in practice every week. Kemba Walker, I'm sure he gets to go up against him. He looked confident. He even had, I think it was Jamshidi that was tugging on his shirt when he went up. So he has a chance now for a three-point play, and this does look good for Mexico.
Looks focused coming out in the second half. He was relatively passive first half. Now he's got double digits, first guy in the game to that figure.
Stoll coming out, looking to get a pick. Now he's going to put his hands on Jamshidi and be called for a foul. Not a great foul, really, with shot clock down to 7, fouling that far away. How many fouls has he got? Just 2 fouls. So another horrendous foul. And Shally drives in, takes the contact, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Like what I've seen from him. Start the second half, just 20 years of age, hit the three, and that's an aggressive drive. The Mexicans have got some good athletes. Toscano, we saw him on the putback, how high he can get. And Charlie didn't back down. And because he drove so hard and he was the one to initiate the contact, that's often why you get the trip to the line. The officials give you that call.
Well, we highlighted him, didn't we, before the game? And how many minutes did he play in the first half? Not many. No, he played quite a few. He was just quiet.
Yeah, he only took 2 shots. The
he was anonymous.
Yeah, he took the 1-3 he made, and then apart from that, took 1 other 2 that he missed. He just didn't do anything out there on the floor the way we saw him yesterday.
Gutierrez again just kind of rides the defender, allows him, and showing us something here. What, former Pac-10 Player of the Year, California?
He could finish in the lane. Yeah, he's only small. His game is all about, getting into the close to the basket. Snow just picked up another cheek on his third, so he might go out. Yeah, he's frustrated as well, but Mendez played so well when he came on. I'm surprised we haven't seen Cruz really at all in the first half. Cruz had a good centro basket. He was exceptional, in previous campaigns like the World Cup in 2014. Hasn't really got into the game.
Bounce pass, Hassanzadeh. He was kind of the man that triggered the comeback for Iran. And now we're going to see a change coming from Valdiomillos. And Jamshidi playing D on Gutierrez now. Hector Hernandez can't get it to fall. Just 3 points for him. He's the captain of Mexico. Jamshidi for 3. Again, off target. 3's just not falling. 3 of 9 for Iran. Toscano explodes, gets inside, puts it up, and Mexico crashed the boards. Don't come away with anything. Now Yakchali in the open floor. Gets it back, finds some space. Yakchali, oh, he hits a three-pointer and is fouled. Talk about rising to the occasion.
Yeah, he's come out to play second half. Wasn't the best option. I thought he was going to shoot in transition here. I thought, well done for slowing it down, and then he steps back and takes it. I think he bought the call a bit from the official, but what a shot. And why else? So that's a big call, is that's the 3rd foul on Mata. Mata's the primary big on the inside. Without Ion here, him going to the bench, Haddadi hasn't set foot on the floor in the second half, so he's getting some rest. I think he'll come back soon. And still, we keep saying it, Iran, it's still there. They're in this game. They're trailed by just 8, chance to be 7 here.
Well, if you're Mexico, what's the Mata? Well, Mata's on the bench with 3 fouls. And not a man you want on the bench. So somebody else has got to stand up inside. Interestingly, Haddadi still out of the game. Hernandez travels. So a turnover gives it back to Iran. Hassanzadeh comes out.
Really small here, Iran. Husseini's gone to the 5. Sahakian at the 4.
Now Yakchali another 3 and almost got hit again. Boy, that was a man's rebound right there from Hector Hernandez.
You have someone open because Sahakian fell
beautiful
to the
pushing the ball up the floor. Gutierrez, but Zamora doesn't go up strong. And Kazemi, I think he may have traveled. Yes, he did. Now, Bowerman wanted a foul. I think it came after the travel. Ceron is going to come in for the first time for Toscano here. You can see Yakchali thought he was going to get another one. Another foul called out there.
Both teams gone small and quick here.
Mendez just drifts in. Nobody picks him up. Boy, that's just making a layup. And he almost missed it. So back to a 9-point lead. Get on. Adam Yakchali. Gutierrez. And Jamshidi goes past him and makes the layup. It looks like the lanes are open there for Iran. Mendez for three. Said it too soon. Rimmed out. Back in with the rebound.
Completely different game to the first half, isn't it? Well, both teams looking after the ball. Offenses are just, smooth going.
Jamshidi twists, turns, gets inside, misses, but the follow from Kazemi, he misses. Now Mendez pushes it up and draws the foul at midcourt. It's only the second foul on Iran. Oh, he got hit on the head.
Yep, and now one. It was a tough finish.
Was that Jamshidi that got hit?
Yeah,
I thought it was Kazemi. To be fair, he didn't complain, but the game kind of in the balance, even though Mexico had that 7-point lead. You feel like the comeback is possibly coming from Iran, but Gutierrez takes another three. He's really showing some responsibility here in the third quarter.
He's stepping up, 15 points as we see Haddadi looking on. Gutierrez, he's kind of carrying the load, isn't he? So 7 points, second half.
Five on the shot clock. Over to Sahakian. And he goes in, he gets blocked, but he is fouled, I think, by Hector Hernandez. And Haddadi, meanwhile, having to watch proceedings. Duragi. Haddadi is wondering why he's not playing.
Yeah, probably.
Does he accept it?
Iran is starting to get to that. They've still got plenty of time left, but you must get the feeling they've got to make their little run soon. They've always been close. They're always within touching distance, but the longer the game goes on, time might just run out for them. So they want to make a run, see if they can get it, real close before this fourth period starts.
An offensive foul called on Gutierrez, kind of pushing off on Mashieke to catch the ball. So that's a tough break for Mexico, but it's good defense from Mashieke. And only the first foul on Gutierrez. Chali's going to try to inbound it. Did he get it in? Yes, he did. Hassanzadeh puts it up and gets it in. So
great footwork not to travel. I mean, he's full speed, just the run and the catch. Very impressive.
Gutierrez changes directions, does everything right, but make the shot. Now Mashieke for Iran. Drives in, gets blocked. Good hustle from Hector Hernandez. Getting back down the floor. Now Iran believing a foul should have been called. Watch this. Do you think there's a foul there? Maybe grazed him on the face?
I don't think so.
It's kind of a, yeah.
We didn't have the best angle on that one, though.
He didn't clobber him, let's put it that way. Intensity being ratcheted up here. Oh, and Mendez pushes off with the right elbow. So for the second time, really, in the last minute, Iran have drawn offensive fouls. I mean,
he made a big meal of it, but Mendez has got to be a bit smarter.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're going to lift the arm like he did, then you give the opportunity for the defender to go down. If he hadn't lifted it the way he did, there's no way it was going to be a foul.
And now Mendez comes out. Now Mendez and Mexico don't want to start getting into like a battle with the referees. And the same with Iran, but especially Mexico.
Now they're in foul problems as well. Team fouls wise, they're going to send Mexico to the line a lot here. If this game continues this way, this last 3 minutes, and what that does, it gives Iran the opportunity. You know, been making free throws. If they can get to the line and continue to make them, they're going to get themselves back into this game. And this is the run we were talking about, but you know, they've got to do better than the 11 for 20 they are as a team. Yeah,
the stats don't lie. I mean, that's 9 points they've left out at the line, and right now they're trailing by 7.
One of the key things people look at sometimes is making more free throws than your opponent takes, which Iran are doing, but they are just 12 of 21 in comparison to 6 of 7 for Mexico, have shot very well.
Paco Cruz bounce pass through Zamora, misses the layup. The play was there. Mexico just not finishing some plays. And Masayeki goes down the lane. And you wonder if a timeout might be coming from Mexico here. Their lead now just 4 points.
Fouls have started to rack up for them.
Gutierrez. And a block has been called on Kazemi.
Didn't quite get there in time. Yeah, for me, it's about the fouls. It's frustrated in Mexico. There's so many have been called, and then also, you know, the fact that they're in the bonus means they've sent Iran to the line a few times. As we see the hit, Gutierrez has been shaken up a little bit. He's taken his time.
Just the third foul on Iran in the quarter. Jamshidi coming back into the game. Yakshali comes out. Well, there are spurts from Yakshali where he's just brilliant. He may yet be the game winner in this for Iran. Paco Cruz almost went up and down. Here's Herron. And Hector Hernandez kept it alive. Gutierrez gets it. And Mexico once again misses a shot from right in the lane.
Yeah, they're the ones who are dropping at the start of the half for Gutierrez, aren't they? And he was taken over. Now he's missing the offensive rebounds as well. They're 2 good looks. Basket here, a 3 from Jamshidi will change this game.
Masayeki for 3. Go! And now Iran back to a 1-point deficit. So right when we thought Mexico were kind of in control with Gutierrez pulling the strings, Iran have come charging back. And what does Valdiomillos do now? Some worried looks. Well, look at that. They've clawed their way back, and Mexico can be very thankful that Iran have missed their free throws. 5 assists for Iran in this third quarter, just 1 for Mexico.
It's a 21-12 quarter so far for Iran, and a lot of those points have come at the line. For me, Mexico now, we talked about this in the first half, by allowing Iran to stay, you know, in the game, Mexico has started to get a little bit tight now. You know, usually they're just so free-flowing, aren't they? They don't really think about what they're doing too much. If they've got a shot, they'll take it. Because Iran are closer, and Mexico can't just shake them off, they're now starting to think, which is dangerous for the Mexican team. I think they've got to try and raise the tempo somehow, you know, make it an open court game if they can. It might make it a little bit ugly. They'll give some easy stuff up to Iran, but they've got to find a way to get steals and run the floor.
Well, Hector Hernandez hasn't really had it going offensively, but maybe now it's time for the captain to put in some captain's minutes.
And I like that, the play call, to go to him on the low block. He's got, you know, that's his 5th point. It's a guy who averaged 16.5 a game at Centro Basket, so.
And especially without Haddadi in there.
Yeah.
Or Carduz.
Yeah, get them involved.
Jamshidi over to Kazemi, and his pass intercepted by Stoll. He knew what was coming, and Stoll just looked like he kind of called a hand in the face, and then, and Mata comes in and gets the block. They wanted goaltending, so a little bit of controversy really at both ends. Valdiomillos wanting the referees to have called a foul, and goal interference wanted by Bowerman.
Just an incredible period of play. Paul Stoll believed he was fouled.
Watch this.
Here.
He goes down. No, he's rubbing his head.
Yeah, he took a little elbow to the head, I think.
You see it? Oh, and then see if. Well, we didn't see the block from Mata, but that's a huge play in the game. With Mexico leading by 3, because Iran could have cut it to 1, couldn't they? With that layup.
Yeah.
That could be the turning point. So coming back in now, number 6, Aslani, and Jamshidi goes out. Kazemi goes out. He's played, showed a lot of heart and soul coming out with that banged up knee, without question. Sahakian going to come back in. Yakchale coming back in. Daragi goes out. So wholesale substitutions. Toscano comes back in for Mexico. There's Sahakian. And Paco Cruz makes the free throw. So now Mexico 7 of 8. 86%. Iran just 12 of 21 at the line. 57%. And this time, Paco Cruz just makes 1 of 2. Final 40 seconds of the third quarter. Mashieki. And puts it up, misses. And now the rebound. Will they hold it for 1 or will they attack? Giron, nice pump fake from Giron, and they go ahead and take the points. Now they're going to put on some full court pressure. Make it difficult for Iran to get up the floor. 5 seconds, 4, 3, Yakchale, and gets it over to Mashieki. I don't think he got it off in time. So good defense there from Mexico at the end, and they go back in front by 6. A little bit better from them. Still, this game hangs in the balance.
It's just incredible, isn't it? You know, every time one team seems to get control, and it swings back in favor of the others. Mexico open up a lead. They look comfortable off the back of Gutierrez, start the quarter, then they just go, you know, go crazy, really. Iran get themselves back into it. You think Iran are going to establish a lead, back come Mexico to make this lead 6 once more. No, this game's not over yet. Interestingly,
just a couple of turnovers in the third quarter for Iran, and you see what happens.
Yeah.
They're able to come right back.
That's the difference. If you don't turn the ball over, you're just going to take more shots. More shots they get, they're obviously going to score more points, especially that they're shooting it pretty well, 43% from the field. They've got to do a better job at the line, though, if they are going to get fouled in the way that they were. But this game is still there to be won for Iran. Be interesting to see if Haddadi comes back in the fourth quarter. He's taking off his jersey now. Oh, he's changing jerseys.
He's the captain. But he's only played 12 minutes in the game.
He didn't play at all in the third period. He is their leader. He's the guy they'll go to. So, especially with that Samad, who was such a strong performer in 2015 Asia Championship. So Haddadi's really the guy they're going to go to, I think, in this fourth quarter. I commented yesterday how well they use him when he is on the floor offensively, and I think they've got to get back to that. You know, if Haddadi's on the floor, he has to have a touch every time, and they've run a lot of offense with him in the high post. I think they need to go back to putting him on the low block. Forget how good a passer he is. Put him on the low block, screen for him so that he goes one side to the other, feed him, and then just everybody get their hands ready to catch and finish. He's actually not going to come on, but he's got a jersey now, sitting on the bench rather than a warm-up top.
So Cruz, Stoll, Hernandez, Toscano, and Giron still in the game now for Mexico. It's Yakchali, Kazemi, almost a turnover. Aslani, Sahakian, here's Kazemi, goes down the lane and gets it to the very effective Hassanzadeh.
Solid game from him, 12 points. That's why Haddadi's still sitting down. Haddadi's had a great game. You've got to look at the defense of Paco Cruz as well. He was the guy that got beaten off the dribbling, switch onto Kazemi. He can't give up penetration that easy.
Aslani picks up the foul. 4-point game. This could go either way. Neither team, especially Mexico, just not able to put Iran away. And Kazemi just reaches in and almost forces a turnover. In fact, he does. Great hustle from Kazemi, who's walking around on a bum knee. And Mexico, pensive looks from the bench. Giron comes out. Mata back in. Now Haddadi has re-entered the contest.
This is what I said. On that action to have block-to-box screen for Haddadi. Catch it on the low post.
Charlie gets it to Haddadi. He's facing some red shirts in there, and they're able to knock it off the rim. Now Stoll over to Paco Cruz. Mata sets the pick. Stoll over to Cruz. Back out there, Hernandez for three. And Kazemi with the rebound. 6 rebounds for Kazemi. Eight and a half minutes now to go. Aslan. Again into Haddadi, but off of his hands. Up to Hernandez, he's going to go in, but he was fouled by Sahakian before the shot.
From Sahakian just to get back and to commit the foul. Concern too, I think, for Mexico. And they have saved his team some points here if they can play defense in the half court now. It's such a tense game, isn't it? You don't really feel it right now because neither team's playing particularly well offensively, but
Stoll has it, bounce pass to Lorenzo Mata, and he draws the foul from Kazemi. Mata wishes he could have dunked that, but Kazemi was able to put him off. Watch this again. Saw a hand kind of come over. Nice release from Mata. Mexico's Marco Ramos looks on. Jorge Gutierrez. And both free throws are good. He's got 5 points and 4 rebounds. Kazemi over to Yakchali. I think Iran wanting to get it obviously inside the Haddadi. Here he is, but he can't force it. Well, finds his way in there.
He's so much better in the low block than off the high pick and roll, though, because the defense can't really get behind him from the low block. I think that's where they've got to go for the last few minutes of this game for sure.
Cruz was going to try to get it to Mata, but he turned it over. Now Yakchali in the fast break and goes up and is put off, but the follow, oh, it doesn't go, but then another tap does. I think it's Kazemi.
Yeah,
and that great hustle from him. That gets it back to a 2-point deficit. His first points, I believe, of the game. No, they give the points to Sahakian. Anyway, Hernandez puts up a 3. And Haddadi with the rebound. Now Mexico in danger of being tied by Iran, or Iran could even take the lead.
Oh, good pass. Oh, what a block, though.
More great defending inside by Mexico. Now the alley-oop to Toscano. Great pass and finished by Paco Cruz. Well, I thought that was pretty daring there by Mexico, but...
Well, that's the way they play. I think they've got to have the freedom to run and play loose. You know, look at this. Great pass. It looked like Sahakian was going to get the open one.
And it's Toscano perhaps making up for his earlier mistake.
Yeah, well, Toscano turned his head to the ball, which is something you shouldn't do with a great passer like Haddadi, but he had the athleticism to make up for it. So, you know, the credit both teams for staying with the play. You know, so that, Toscano could have given it up, could have let his man get a layup. He didn't, in the same way that Kazemi, who I think should have got the points, but
I thought he did get it.
Yeah, he continued and chased after the rebound when it looked like it was going to go in for his team.
Well, as Dirk Bowerman looks up and Valdez draws some plays, that was a big sequence. I mean, but that's basketball, isn't it? You make a defensive play, it gives you an opportunity to run, and next thing you know, it's a 4-point swing. And instead of being tied at 55-55, look at that. Mexico with that last fast break now have 11 fast break points to just 2 for Iran.
A game of inches, so often we see, and Mexico more than most, they know. You know, the Centro Basket Tournament they played just a couple of weeks ago. Paco Cruz, an incredible finish down the lane. And about 30 seconds ago, gave him a 2-point lead against Puerto Rico in the final. Puerto Rico came back, made the 3 with less than 10 seconds to go. And then Gutierrez had a wide open look at the top of the 3-point line, a chance to win it. Just hit the front of the ring, an inch higher, an inch stronger from Gutierrez, and they would be here as Centro Basket champions. Instead, they took the runners-up spot.
So 6.5 minutes remaining, and now it's Sahakian has it. Oh, goodness gracious. Yaktali once again.
Oh, what an incredible shooter he is. 4 or 5. I thought he was going to miss that one because he was searching for the foul again. Just, you know, fantastic ability to make the 3.
Yaktali, 4 of 5 from 3-point range. Stole, and a foul, moving screen called on Lorenzo Mata.
Look at this. Watch him search for the foul as well. Often when players do this, they can't make the 3. He shoots it, keeps his eye on the basket extremely well.
Just when we thought Mexico may have taken some momentum, Yaktali gets it right back. And now the offensive foul gives Iran a chance to take the lead. Kazemi over into the corner. And Yaktali, another 3-pointer. A star is rising, folks. Yaktali.
I mean, this young man is showing that he's the future of Iranian basketball right here. 17 now.
Gutierrez goes in and gets blocked by Kazemi. And Valdez is going to ask for a timeout.
First lead of the game for Iran, isn't it?
No, they led early when they came back from that 13-point deficit. I think it was 18-17 or 19-18.
Yeah, biggest lead of the game at 2 at least.
And almost a turnover. And Bolthausen says the ball belongs to Iran. Look at this. He waits. Takes his time, nails another 3-pointer. Those 5 of 6 from 3-point range. Yeah, Yaktali. I mean, the kid has played out of his skin, to put it mildly.
9 of 17 over 2 games now, isn't he? 4 of 8 yesterday. now he's 5 of 6 today, just incredible. We said yesterday, yeah, we know they've got Haddadi on the inside. Where's the three-point threat going to come from? Where's the guard play going to come from? But Chali is stepped up, you know, incredibly. His numbers, he only played 12 minutes a game, 4 points per outing of FIBA Asia 2015. You know, he actually only shot 26% from the three in that tournament. Shows you just, you know, how well he has improved over the course of this past season.
But you're right. 2 points is the biggest lead for Iran. You saw that 13-point lead in the first quarter was the biggest from Mexico, but here they are trailing by 2 points. And isn't basketball an interesting game? You just never know. Never give up. And they certainly haven't. Iran, they have just kept at it. And you really got to tip your hat to Kazemi, who's you know, playing hurt really after going down in that first quarter. Now here's Chali again, guarded by Gutierrez. Chali, and Hernandez really had to go up strong for that, with Sahakian coming from behind. And almost another steal. Mashieki.
I think it's a right goal, but it was close. He nearly had it away from Stoll. In a certain 2 if he had.
That's 4 fouls now on Iran, so the free throws will come into play here for Mexico pretty soon. Stoll for 3. Mata goes up for the board, and a foul called on Iran. So a real warrior in there is Mata.
It's another of those occasions that Haddadi just didn't box out. He got unlucky. The ball fell a bit kindly to Mata because he didn't have him on his back. You know, that meant Mata gets the foul. This is an area he struggles though. 42% he was at centre basket. You can see there. That's not the best free throw shooter.
Well, his other free throws look pretty good.
Yep.
The last trip to the line.
First one he missed.
Makes that one. Looked okay on that one. Anyway, that gets him back to a 1-point deficit.
I like this sub as well. Jamshidi in. You know, Bauman's pretty much got this 5 now for the last 5 minutes. This 5 may finish the game.
Paco Cruz comes up on Kazemi, who's going to drive in, take the contact, and earn the trip to the free throw line.
Paco Cruz, I'm a big fan of. But he's got to be smarter there, that if he's going to guard that close to Kazemi, know the guy you're guarding, because Kazemi's going to put it on the floor and he's going to go to the basket hard. Cruz got so close to him, it just took 1 step, 1 dribble, and the man was past him. And what that's meant is Mata now has fouled out because he's had to protect the ring.
So that is massive. His presence inside. They've lost arguably their top big man. And now it's Iran by 2. Free throw good, so back to now a 3-point lead, their biggest lead of the game. Oh, boy, did they get lucky there. Hernandez made the pass. I don't know if he thought it was Stoll he was passing it to, but anyway, Stoll's got it, bounce pass. Gutierrez drives in, draws the foul.
They go back to Gutierrez for me. You know, Stoll's got the ball in his hands, but I think Gutierrez needs to be the man that has it. See if he can get into the lane again the way he did at the start of the second half. You know, he just hasn't touched it, moving him off the ball and having Stoll control it.
Well, the free throws are so important, aren't they, in the game, especially right now. Gutierrez makes the first, but misses the second. They've missed 2 out of their last 4. 2-point game. Chali, who basically is the hero of the game for Iran in terms of his heroics offensively. Now Chali over to Haddadi, and they find Kazemi. Then he goes up for the dunk.
I mean, he is a highlight show. He had a big one yesterday. That could even be bigger.
Gutierrez goes to the other end, tries to get the contact in the call. He looks at the referee, and now, with the 4-point lead, Iran starting to look like they could be onto something here. Very impressive how they've held it together today. Now Jamshidi, who's been quiet, gets inside, misses. Gutierrez with the rebound. Now Mexico push it quickly. Cruz, he's going to go into the corner, and it goes off of Stoll, but then off of an Iranian player.
Well, I think he was out of bounds. That was the thing. It just bounced off the foot of Stoll.
Look at this. One of the plays of the game from Kazemi. Don't forget, he went down with that knee problem. What a performance by him.
He's a powerful athlete, isn't he? He's not the tallest.
He's now got 6 points and 8 rebounds. Yeah. He's not that far away from a double-double.
He's played very well indeed.
In fact, if they gave him that two that we thought he was serving, he'd be one basket away from double digits.
Very true, very true. And now Mexico. Where do they go for the offense? That's the thing. You know, look at all of their guys. Gutierrez is the only guy. Orlando Mendez has 8 points, but Gutierrez has 15. Hector Hernandez, you'd think maybe, but he's only got 5 as well. That's why I say it's got to be Jorge Gutierrez for me.
Well, it's going to be Stoll, and it's off the back of the rim. Now they need to stop. Yakshali.
Yakshali's done a good job controlling this tempo. Old head on young shoulders.
Gutierrez has to watch the hand check. He gets the hands on the ball. Now 5 on the shot clock, 4. And Yakshali looks for space, puts up a 3. And the ball batted to Mexico. Cruz now on the open floor. He's going to hold up. 2:45 to go. Gets in the lane, puts it up, and Paco Cruz gets into a 2-point game.
Iran don't want to. They're doing a good job of controlling the tempo, but they don't want to get stagnant. They don't want to, completely take away the flow they've got, because as we've repeatedly said, this Mexico team can just spurt at any time out of nowhere. And this game's not done, that's for sure. It's only 2 points. Mexico could win this game by double digits, no problem the way they play. So Iran have got to continue to control the tempo, but not get passive. So if they've got a chance to run, they've got to run. You still take the early option if it's there for them.
44% shooting from the floor, Iran 35% from Mexico. And there you see the 3-point shooting percentage per quarter. Mexico's 0% here in the fourth. Iran and the brilliant Yakshali at 50%. So Iran have really buried the 3 balls in the second half. They're now 7 of 16 for the game.
And then the other thing, 12 turnovers at halftime for Iran, and then just 16 in the game. So they've done a great job in this second half, looking after the ball, not turning it over. And that's why they've been able to pull back this lead so well. A strong fourth quarter again for them, 16-8. But Mexico, now it's them playing from behind, but still with an opportunity, to win this game.
Well, whichever team wins this, really, if Mexico win, they will book a place in the semifinals. If Iran win, they would really need Greece to go ahead and beat Mexico to be assured of it. Otherwise, it would go to goal difference. Stoll trying to force a turnover. Mashieki, just like you said, you want to not become too concerned by managing the clock. Kazemi to Haddadi. He goes at Gutierrez, and a foul called on Israel Gutierrez.
It's the first time that Hilo has really done anything for Iran. The pass from the top into Haddadi in the middle. I think he's so much better on the side when he catches it. This time, though, the spacing was very good from the other players, meant that no double team came and he drew the foul. Helps he's going against Gutierrez rather than Mata as well, I think.
Back to a 3-point lead. And just 1 of 2, so could have been worse for Mexico. Now Cruz passes the basket, puts it up and in.
Play from Cruz.
That's twice in a row now for him. He's starting to come to the fore.
The opportunities Iran have got to sort of take if they get things like that. You know, chance to just get a score. Forget an offense. Forget the time.
An offensive foul. Hooking on Haddadi. And now Mexico with a chance to go back in front. Oh, the drama. Sahakian takes a seat. Jamshidi back in. Three extremely quick players on the floor for Iran. And here's Stoll, Mr. Quickness himself for Mexico, out there with Gutierrez. Paco Cruz drives back outside to Stoll. He was getting ready to uncork it, but good defense from Mashieki. So 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stoll comes out. Over to Hernandez, the captain, and Israel Gutierrez goes for the ball. The ball ends up in Mexico. Paco Cruz gets it. Hernandez puts it up, misses. The follow from Mexico still no good. And Gutierrez hustles to get it back. Again, Paul Stoll for three. Got it! Second and third chances for Mexico has given them the chance to go back in front, and they have taken it. They lead it 66-64. We are in for a thrilling finish, folks.
8 seconds.
Unbelievable. Great defense from Jorge Gutierrez. And the failure to get the ball. Look at the hustle from Gutierrez there, falling out of bounds. And then Stoll, he might miss one or two, but he's not going to keep missing, is he?
He's a guy that likes a big shot, but what a breakdown. Look at this, the Iranians all kind of looking to the bench, figuring out what's going on. And they forgot to get the ball over the halfway line in time. So now 1:06 remaining, they're down 2, and Mexico have got the ball as well. So you're going to ask these questions, what is it for Iran? Do they choose to foul early, see if they can put Mexico on the line? Because Mexico haven't shot it particularly well lately from the free throw line. They are 11 of 15 though as a team. Or do you try and play out the defense knowing if Mexico run the time down, you're into sort of 40 seconds remaining. When you get the ball back, you could be down 4 points at that stage. So for Mexico, where do they go here? Is it to Paco Cruz, who's been playing pretty well in the last few possessions, or do they go back to Jorge Gutierrez, who's been kind of the main offensive threat for them? I mean, this game, it's just been so back and forth the entire time.
Well, just what a sequence. Iran not getting the ball across midcourt in time. So Paco Cruz has it. Gets it over. Now Gutierrez. Yakchali gets picked. Gutierrez goes in. Back outside. Tough pass. Hernandez. They move it around. Paco Cruz goes up with the left hand and scores. That is a quality move from Paco Cruz.
It's a beautiful finish to switch your hands around the shot blocking threat of Haddadi in a huge basket. Iran have got to go quickly here.
Bounce pass, Kazemi. 4-point lead, and Gutierrez reaches in, knocks it away. Now Mexico have got a real chance to put this thing almost out of reach for Iran. And Mashieki commits the foul on Paul Stoll. And I'll tell you what, Lloyd, you have really got to tip your hat to Mexico for playing defense the way they have. They have turned it up a notch, haven't they?
Pressure really helped them. Iran, just the youth at the crucial times. 2 turnovers come back. They looked after the ball so well in this second half to have it all undone in the last 2 possessions, but it's not over yet.
Paul Stoll missed the free throw now with 28.2 seconds left.
It's a long time, still a 2-possession game.
And makes the second. So that's pushes it up to 5. Iran
need a quick score. 2 or 3 doesn't matter right now. 3 would be ideal.
And Mashiaki almost has it taken away, but he gets it back, gets it to Hamed Haddadi. And Haddadi fouled by Gutierrez with 17.8 seconds.
But again, Mashiaki gets into the lane. He's got Yakshali just wide open in this left-hand corner. You see him. It's a guy, he was like 6 of 7 from the three-point line, a 5 of 6 a few seconds ago. If he hits a 3 here, pressure straight back on Mexico. You know, they've got to make free throws then. But now, even if Haddadi makes 2 of 2, there's a chance that Mexico have got, you know, a bit of freedom with a free throw.
So Gutierrez now has fouled out of the game. And on the replay, it looked like he got a lot of ball there from behind, but he might have gotten a little bit of Haddadi. He's at the line. Look at that, 16 points, average 11 today, and misses the first. I'll tell you what, in this situation, you don't want to miss the first, do you? If you're going to miss any, you miss the second.
Yeah, but you had to make both to make it 1 possession now.
And he misses. Nope, he gets the second. So now back to a 4-point game. Crazier things have happened in the sport of basketball, but it's not looking good right now for Iran.
Well, Iran have to try and get a 5-second violation. So they're going to try and design a play or design their defense. They don't let the ball come in bounds. If it does, foul immediately. Ideally, you would like to get it to, you know, the right guys to shoot free throws. Today, they've shot it pretty well from the line as a team. Mexico just having a quick look, but you know, Pulstol 1 of 2, Jorge Gutierrez 1 of 2, Paco Cruz 1 of 2. Giron has just come in here on, so maybe he's the guy that you foul just because he's fresh onto the floor and he played 6 minutes. But you know, you're asking for a miracle, really. Iran right now, if you can't get a 5-second violation foul, hope they miss, and then you've got to go quickly, and you'll probably need it 3 now as time's ticking away.
Well, Lord, let's just remind everybody, this is the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Greece beat Iran yesterday. Mexico had the day off. They're coming out today. Mexico, if they can win this game, they know they'll be in the semifinals, and both as well as Greece. And they would play Greece then tomorrow for first place in the group, which would be a very important game, obviously. But at least they would be in the semifinals. For Iran, if they lose this one, it's over. Gutierrez inbounds it to Cruz. Kazemi reaches in and commits the foul. And can't say enough about how much heart Kazemi has shown by coming out and playing in the second half. And this will be a bitter disappointment for him if Iran cannot come back. As well as Yakshali. Paco Cruz goes to the line, makes the first one.
83% he was on the season from the line in Latvia. I'll show you why there, smooth as you like, 2 of 2.
So, huge free throws, 2-possession game. They'll look for the 3. Clearly, interestingly, it's going to be Yakshali that inbounds it. Mashiaki. And offensive foul called on Kazemi for setting the pick to free his man, and that might just have done it. Watch this. Well, I think he was definitely a little bit of movement there. Certainly Astol's taken a few shots today. But a brutal, tough call for Kazemi, especially this stage of the game. And right now, it looks like Mexico are going to get it done. Cruz again, fouled by Yakshali. Lloyd, let's remind everybody as well about how brilliant Yakshali was to bring Iran back, as well as Kazemi. And it looks like it might be for naught.
Yeah, it's a shame. This young guard of Iran, we heard Coach Baumann talking yesterday about playing young guys throughout the game, trying to get them to a level where they can beat the European teams, not just come here for the experience of going back to Asia, and then you only beat one of the better teams in America. And the Americas here which, you know, a couple of crucial decisions, a couple of crucial turnovers have hurt them on both days.
Mashieki drives in, gets 2 back. And now a foul. So it has been a real struggle for Mexico, but it looks like they've taken another step forward with their program. I mean, I have to say, one thing, you have to be able to fight through adversity, and to have to deal with what they've had to deal with and to get to the semifinals already, that's saying something. They could have folded up their tents and gone home the way this game turned around as well in the 4th quarter, and they haven't. They have stuck to it. So 74-67, 75-67, and Mexico, folks, there's going to be a little fiesta tonight. I dare say, the 3-pointer right again from Yachale. And Valio Mills shakes hands with Bowerman. Tough loss for Iran. I think we both agreed. They played well a lot in this tournament, but it's not enough. They fall to 75-70 to Mexico. Mexico clinch a place, as well as Greece, in the semifinals of this FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament.
As you say, Jeff, credit to Mexico. You know, they fought through the adversity, but they're going to have to get better as well going into the semi-final games. They can't give the opportunity for other teams to come back the way they did today. You know, they played well early, but then took the foot off the gas, really. And they have Paco Cruz. Amazingly, he's the leading scorer in the game for them with 18 points, played just 21 minutes to thank, really. Made some big baskets down the stretch.
The Yachale, I mean, if you're going to leave anything thinking about Iran from this tournament, this kid is taking off. Benim Yachale, remember that name. I think he's going to play somewhere big. We'll have to wait and see. And Kazemi, Dirk Brown has got that program moving in the right direction for Iran. But Mexico, more success for them. What's this, 2013, 14, 15, and now 16. They're winning big games. They will be in the semifinals of the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Next up will be Italy and Croatia. Be sure you're here to watch it. Thanks for watching, folks.